you're here! That is so fun. Listen, I'm going to do some dyeing today. Want to join in? Yeah, of course you do. So today we are not going to dye yarn per se. We are dyeing a wool batt. This is a Polwarth 21 micron. I can almost read that without my glasses. But look at that. I mean, this is so soft and fluffy. It's ridiculous. I know it looks like a skein, but it's not. Let me show you. Let me show you. Okay, there we go. You can see that. This is wool, pure wool. And that's what we're dyeing today. So, I'm going to, first of all, soak it, of course, and then we'll get to the dyeing. There we go. I've got 100 grams here. So I'm just going to use my small soaking tub. And I've got my citric acid. I'm going to grab a tablespoon of that. Put it in there. Got a measuring cup with about 2 liters of water. Cold water. Adding that in as well. And then all we need to do is to add in the wool. I'm just pushing it down to make sure everything gets soaked properly so that the dye will stick to the yarn later, or the wool. If it isn't properly soaked, the parts that are dry will not get any dye at all. We don't want that. It's almost a shame to dye on this because this white is so beautiful. I may have to order some more of these batts and save some to not dye on. But this one is getting dyed today. And I'm going to let it sit here and soak in all that citric acid and the cold water and so for at least half an hour, maybe an hour, and then we'll get ready to dye. Now for the exciting part. We're getting ready to dye. I got my dye tray here, and I have the dye that we're working with today. I'm going to go with Colourcraft in the color pink. Got a little teaspoon to grab the dye, my milk frother, my little whiskey thing, protection for my airways, very important, don't want to inhale this, so always use that. I've got some gloves in case I need that, an old empty yogurt container, excuse me, with just cold water and a spoon that I can use to poke the wool. And we have the soaked wool here, and over here on the side is the pan that we are using to dye in. And usually I would just use my small dyeing pan for this. This is only 100 grams, but it's very fluffy, as you can see. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to use the large pan. And I think I'm actually just going to pour the whole thing, water and all, into the pan and reuse the soaking water for the dye process. But we're going to need more. So I also got a measuring cup here. I've added about 400 milliliters of water for dissolving the dye, and then I will fill it up to the top to 2 liters, and we'll add that on top. So that is the plan. Let's start by mixing the dye, putting on the protection first. Always protect people. Well, always protect people. Okay, now this is citric acid, of course, in the back here. All right, so I'm gonna just grab the dye can. Hang on a second, it's a little tight to open. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to add just a teeny tiny bit at first. And we'll see what that does. I'm going to use the whisker. As you can see, it's quite pink. And I'm going to say that I am happy with that. Like so. Let's put the lid on. Again. There we go. So next I'm going to fill this one up with water. And I'm also going to basically pour the entire contents of this soaking tub into the dye pan. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. And we are ready. I have transferred the wool into the pan, water and all, sprinkled a little bit of extra citric acid in there, tried to spread out the wool a bit, and I have filled up the measuring cup with more water. So it's now 2 liters, and there's 2 liters in here as well from the soaking tub. So we're just going to dive in and add the color. As you can see, this should give us a really lovely light pink colorway. I'm going to turn on the heat as well. And I'm going to use the spoon to make sure we get the dye everywhere. Granted, it could be a cool effect if we had some white specks here and there. I think we're going to get some lighter spots. We shall see. That could be really cool, actually. Okay. And now I'm just going to let it start getting warm, heat it up, and I'll keep poking it every now and then and make sure that everything, the entire pan of water and wool, gets warm. It is starting to heat up now, and I'm just poking it ever so gently because I do not want to risk it felting. Because this is not superwash. It does not have the same resistance as the superwash does. So I don't want to agitate it too much. If you agitate it in addition to the heat, it will felt. So I'm just gently pushing it down here and continuing to heat it up. Things are heating up, and I'm pretty sure we are getting spots that are almost white and some are just very, very light pink, which will be, I think, a very interesting effect when you spin the yarn. So what I'm going to do next, I do not recommend. This is how I check if everything is hot. I don't know if you can see the steam coming off the pan. I put on some gloves and I just poke the yarn. Okay, the whole pan is hot except for a spot right here. So I'm going to just transfer some hot water from the other spots in the pan to let this side catch up. Let me try it. Oh yeah, it's getting there. So now that everything is heated up properly, I'm going to turn off the heat and I'm going to set the pan aside to cool completely before we rinse the wool. Very important that it cools completely first. Otherwise we will shock it, and it's since it is not a superwash yarn or wool that we're working with here, we need to be extra careful. So I'm setting it aside to cool completely, and then we can rinse it. Time to rinse. It has cooled down completely, and I gotta say, it looks just like, what's it called? Cotton candy. It looks like cotton candy. So I have put some cold water in my rinsing tub here. I've added a little bit of soak, which is not necessary. You can use dish soap, you can use shampoo, whatever you got. But if you can use it on your hair, you can use it to rinse your dye project. Okay, so I've added cold water into the tub here and some soak, and we are going to carefully pick up our wool and transfer it. There we go. I'm going to set that aside. And as you can see, the water is all clear, so it has exhausted completely. Oh, sorry, I think I hit the microphone. I'm just going to use my small soaking tub to catch the wool once I have rinsed it. It looks very, very pretty. I don't want to lift it up too high because I don't want to stretch out the fibers too much. Just try to keep it together. We do have some white spots. This is going to be so lovely once I try to spin it. So I'm just poking it in here, and then I will carefully try to gather it to lift it out of the tub without stretching it. Like so. There it is. Now I'm going to be rinsing this once more. You usually don't have to do that when you use soak, but I prefer to do it twice. Look at that. Oh, this is going to be amazing. Like I said, I'm going to rinse it once more. So, and once I've done that, we're going to hang it to dry. It is finally done, and here it is. I'm at a loss for words. This looks like cotton candy. Is that what you say in America? I think most of my viewers are American, so yeah. It is very soft and squishy and fluffy, and I like how you got like the white spots and some pinks, and yeah, I think this is going to be very, very fun to spin later on. I need to learn how to spin, of course, but nonetheless, very pleased with this. So yeah, not much to say about this project. It was quick and easy. Definitely going to dye more Polwarth as well in the future, because I need to spin a lot of yarn from this for sure. This is absolutely beautiful, and you know, the quality of the wool is just So highly recommend. Yeah, that's it for this week. I'll see you next time. Bye.
You got me feeling good, right by your side.